manage credit risk for a bank. What's the meaning of the credit risk? Credit risk means the board of the bank may default on their loans. It eventually could lead to the failure of the banks. In order to illustrate credit risk, we have to use the T account and the balance sheet to start it. For example, in the balance sheet here for this bank, we can see typically the bank has what? Deposit on the liability side and the bank capital. On the asset side, bank has a reserve, loan, and a security. One important thing to keep in mind is the asset, the value always equal the value of the sum of the liability and the bank capital. One important thing you have to keep in mind, bank capital cannot be negative. If the value of the bank capital drop below zero, bank will fail, which means a bank default. But in what case the bank capital may become negative? Suppose in this case, this bank lend out a loan all as a mortgage loan. So this $80 concentrate on the mortgage loan. What about if the housing market collapsed? Just like in 2008, the housing crisis. What happened to the value of the mortgage loan? Because many people lose job, many people have a bad credit. They are not able to pay back mortgage loan, so the mortgage loan this bank lend out become a bad loans. Bad loan means what? The borrower cannot pay back. The loan value will decline to zero. So assume because of housing crisis and the housing market collapse, this loan has a bad loans, suppose $30. So which means among the mortgage loan this bank lend out $80, $30 will disappear. So the remaining loans value we can see here, that's asset side, reserve 20. So loan value now become 50 because the $30 loans tend to the bad loans. Security still $10. So after the decline of the loan value in the asset side, what happened to the liability side and the equity side? What happened to the deposit? What happened to the bank capital? But remember, to study this, we have to look at the balance sheet as whole. On the asset side, now $20 deposit reserve plus $50 loans plus $10 security. So the value of the asset together is $80. On the liability side, deposit $100. Could this be changed? No, because deposit is obligation the bank need to pay back to the depositors. This is liability. So value of the deposit is not going to change. Banks still owe people $100. But how can we balance these two sides? We have asset side total value 80. We have a liability deposit $100. What happened to the equity, the bank capital? In order to balance this balance sheet, the all-in value of the bank capital can be is negative $20 because 100 plus negative 20 is $80. So in this case, this bank actually failed because the bank capital here, as we mentioned, become negative, below zero. If a bank capital becomes zero or negative, the bank will fail. It means what? It means even this bank liquidate all the money in the asset side is only $80. It only has $80. It cannot fully meet the deposit of $100. So if all people come to withdraw $100, the bank does not have $100. Even they liquidate all the assets, they only have $80. That's the reason why this bank failed. So now you see the credit risk. The reason this bank failed is this bank concentrate lending out the loan as a mortgage loan. So if this market, housing market collapse, this bank will lose a lot. So in order to reduce the credit risk we just talked about, the bank actually need to diversify. They need to lend out a loan as mortgage loan. They need to lend out a loan, some loan as business loan. They need to lend out some loan as a consumer loans, like auto loans. Bank can also diversify their loans geographically. So some of the loan lend out to, suppose, Arkansas. Some of the loan lend out to Oklahoma. So even the economic of the Arkansas suppose collapse, but the bank still have some loans that can work in the Oklahoma. So there are many different ways bank can lend out or diversify the loan. As a bank manager, they need to be very careful. Do not concentrate or their loans in the one area or one specific category. They need to diversify because the diversification can actually reduce the credit risk, eventually reduce the risk bank will fail.